Hi there, my name is Per Magnus and I will be explaining to you how we use Google Jamboard in our courses. So it will be nice to see you there, and let me walk this through then. Alright, so let's talk about the Jamboard, the Google Jamboard. So the agenda for this short video is to discuss some supporting ideas. There are some tools, some supporting things that may help you with Jamboard. We use Google Drive naturally. Google Drive and Jamboard go very well together. So you may want to download Google Drive on your computer. It makes it a little bit easier. It's not necessary, it makes it a little bit easier. We will also discuss the folder organization, just so you know where we keep things, all right? We'll also be discussing Jamboard itself and some small tips and tricks, not a lot. There is a separate video in our playlist where someone explains Google Jamboard in quite some detail. I'll just mention a couple of things that people tend to miss. So what we do, yes, we try to give you a rough to medium fine idea about the overall setup of the course, and we are not doing any detailed Jamboard training, and we're not showing you how to install things. Jamboard does not need to be installed by Google Drive. If you want it on your computer, you do need to install that on your computer. All right, so let's now get over to Google Drive on your computer. Just a small mentioning something quickly. So this is the folder setup on the Mac, and as you can see, I have Google Drive here, so I can access Google Drive directly on my computer, which makes it a little bit easier than going over the folder management thing on the web or the browser. So as you can see here, I can treat this just as any other folder on the computer that I have, all right? So I would encourage you to download Google Drive on your computer. It's not necessary, you can do without it, but I kind of like it. It's easier to do things. As a very simple example here, it's easy for me to go down somewhere down here and just copy a file here. For example, there already is a Per Magnus file here. I could copy that one just in a second, so it's quite easy. Now let's have a look at what it looks like on the web interface. Many of you will know Google Drive. You already have Google accounts, Google Drive accounts, so you will know what this looks like. So what you will get for the course is an invitation to folder in the course. So it will look something like this, and this is the folder that we'll be having a look at. So this is the folder that this is an example folder from a course. And so we'll just walk through the different subfolders of this course folder. We have a workbook folder, which is where we put the workbook or the course documentation in. And as you can see from this specific course, there's a big picture file and there's a student workbook. We also have full class, and this is a full class whiteboards. And the different full class whiteboards are, we have full class exercise whiteboards. We also have so-called class management boards, and those are boards that we manage. So let's have a look at the class management board, just as an example of looking at Jamboard if you haven't seen that before. As you can see, when I double click on the full class management board, it takes a little while to load, and that's one of the drawbacks with Google Jamboard. It takes a while to load. So I would suggest that the boards that you use, that you keep them in your tabs rather than returning to the folder structure and double clicking on them. That's just to save some time. As you can see, I have some boards already up here, and they're relatively quickly to jump between them if you have the tabs open and up. So this is a class Kanban. This is where we move the lessons we're at. We've got learning tips, so we'll talk through these learning tips quickly as we start the class. We also have a parking lot, and at the parking lot I will be putting things, or you as students and delegates should be putting the stuff that you'd like us not to miss, like please address this or handle this. We don't answer all questions at all times. Sometimes we just put it in the parking lot, so please do that. We also have a feedback session where we'd like you to add your feedback on the course or the subject. So we like feedback, so thanks for that. If we get back to the management full class folder, we also have the similar things. We've got team boards in the team boards folder, where we have a few bunches, and these are bunches of boards. Like if we have 12 team exercises in the class, and a team is like a few of you guys from the class will form a team and do some exercises, and each of these contains, if in a class with 14 team exercises, there will be 14 whiteboards in this bunch. Simple as that. There are also personal boards in some courses. There are personal reflection boards, or personal exercise boards where you do an individual exercise. We have personal boards here. What you do here, you just go in there, copy the board, and rename it with your name. So you get it for yourself. That's all you need to do. And also, we also got tips and tricks that you can download after class, that if we have questions from the class, we have videos, we have templates, we have checklists and stuff that we can include if people ask questions about that. In this case, we have preloaded this with a common question. We get a lot of questions in this class about what does the role mean. So we got a team role checklist here. And there will be more things in this folder depending on how many questions you have in the class. So that was it. Let's have a look at Jamboard itself. So we could go into the full class folder again, and we'll have a look at the class management, the full exercise board. Sorry about that. So this is the full class exercise board. And we have actually, one of the first exercises we do as a full class, in many classes, not in all classes, is that you get mountains. That's like my favorite thing to do. So that's why I put that here. So Google Jamboard is quite easy, and we have a special video on some details on it. What people often miss is the overview here. So if we press that arrow, you get an overview of all the boards. It's a pretty handy thing. And also when you create post-its, we do that by clicking the post-it icon, and you can pick the color of the post-it. And I suggest writing with uppercase or large letters, makes it a little bit easier to read, like that, right? And also, if you want to use the same post-it repeatedly of the same size, then resize it to the size you want them to be, and then just create multiple post-its of them. And what you do is you can press Command D or Control D. That will give you a duplicate of the post-it you're looking at. We could also mention that you can upload files from the web onto your whiteboard. That's kind of cool if you want to do something. So you can do a Google image search, for example, of Santa Claus, and you will get lots of suggestions for Santa Claus, and you can use that in your whiteboard. I won't be doing that right now. So Google Jamboard is pretty easy. It's a pretty handy tool, and really the two top things is that there is an overview here, and decide what kind of size you want for those post-its before you start duplicating or use many of them. Unfortunately, Google Jamboard does not have unlimited whiteboard space, so that's why if you are a lot of people producing a lot of post-its, don't make them too large, it will be too crowded. Just a simple tip there. That was pretty much it, so let's have a look at the summary of this thing. So as a summary, what you must do is to accept an invitation to the Google Drive folder and make sure you find your way around the folder and kind of understand what's in there. We also recommend that you install Google Drive and that you play around with Google Jamboard so that you get some sense of it. Some of you already know Google Jamboard pretty good, some of you don't. So just play around with it. It's a pretty simple tool. All right. And by that, I want to say welcome to the course. We look forward to seeing you there. And if you have any questions at all, please do not hesitate to contact me or Jacob or Kajsa, and we'll help you with the questions that you have around how to make Jamboard work. And all right, so see you there. I'm looking forward to seeing you at the course, and have fun.